Once again, Destined to be Goblin goes international. Today, we are trying Jordan's favorite snack. Hello, Goblins and Goblinettes. Welcome back to another edition of Destined to be Goblin. Destined Goblin here. This is where I will try a food product of some kind, maybe something you didn't even know existed, and I will decide whether or not I should give it my Destined Goblin seal of approval. Mrs. Goblin and I have been hitting the international markets pretty hard, and in all of our travels lately, we have been fortunate because we have found some very impressive international markets lately. And I don't mean just the usual ones that you come across. The Asian markets, those are fairly easy to find no matter what city you go to. Those are pretty popular. You'll find a lot of them very easily. We found some other markets in addition to the usual sort of suspects. We found a lot of European markets lately, Polish, Russian. We found an Irish market, Scottish, and now the snacks that we got here for this episode today, we actually found from a little market that had a lot of Middle Eastern type of snacks. And these are from Jordan. All of these are the brand Mr. Chips. And a lot of this writing on the back is not English, obviously, but there is a little paragraph on all of these packages. And they say, for 30 years now, Mr. Chips has produced a variety of potato chips made from natural potatoes, cooked to perfection, sprinkled with the finest flavors, and specially packaged to stay fresh. It's no surprise that Mr. Chips is Jordan's favorite snack. And all of these have been produced in Jordan. It says it right there on the back. I can't exactly find it on this one right now, but you can kind of see a lot of that writing in there is not in English. And it's difficult to see a lot of information on this. 4 different flavors of chips that we have here. Each one of these are about, well, can't even tell you how many calories are in these actually, because even the chart is not really in English. So we're just going to go ahead and try these. We've got chili flavor. We've got some pretty unique flavors. We'll get to those in just one second. I do want to also point out that you can kind of tell from the background behind me, I am not in Maine. I am not in Florida. I am now in San Francisco. If you see this background, it's probably going to mean that I am in San Francisco. And because of that, Moose Mug has been, I don't want to say retired, but he has temporarily gone into hibernation. And now for a while, we are going to be seeing the Winchester Mystery House mug. So my Winchester mug is the one that's going to be filling in as my palate cleanser here in between these different flavors of snacks that I am going to be trying. If you don't know about the Winchester Mystery House, if you get an opportunity to come to California, check it out. It is so bizarre. Such a great story behind it. Sarah Winchester actually bought the house, little farmhouse to begin with, and kept adding on rooms because she believed that her fortune, the Winchester fortune made obviously from the rifles and the guns and that type of thing, was cursed. And in order to keep the spirits at bay, she had to keep expanding onto her house. And there had to be constant activity and constant carpentry and things like that. And there are now 160 rooms in that place. 10,000 windows, staircases that go to nowhere, doors that open up to walls. It's really amazing. Check it out if you get the opportunity. I've talked enough. Let us get to the snacks now. So we will go ahead and start with this one just because I have this one in my hand here. This is the chili flavor. This one does not really say, it just says potatoes with chili. So let's see what we get. You can see the little picture of the chili there. I'm assuming these are going to be pretty spicy. I have encountered those chilies before, and they are no joke. I accidentally ate one of those in a dish one time. I didn't realize that it wasn't even supposed to be eaten. It was just there to provide some flavor and some heat. I ate that and it ruined my day. I will tell you, first of all, show you a peek here of these chips. These chips are in magnificent shape. They are all huge. They look like they're all pretty much intact. There's a little bit of a spicy aroma coming off of them. You can see a little bit of powder and things like that on them. Doesn't look like they're overly seasoned. Jordan's favorite snack. Here we go. The chip itself. Ooh, there's some heat building. Oh yeah, that's kicking in fast. The chip itself is fantastic. I mean, look at the cut on that. It's not greasy. It's not overly salty. There's a good amount of salt on this. That flavor is sort of mild as you chew it, but then once you swallow it, that heat kind of kicks in a little bit. If all of these are as impressive as this bag, just from that first chip, I'm going to be happy with these. I'm really liking these. I know I have a ways to go here, but right now I'm very impressed. All right, let's cleanse the palate and let's move on. Okay, this next one, Paprika. Not sure that I have ever seen just a straight up paprika flavored potato chip. Okay, these look like they are seasoned a little bit more heavily. Not a real distinct odor coming off of these. These are also those crinkle cut, more of like the ruffles that you would see here in the United States. This is my favorite cut of a potato chip. Every time I have had this cut, I've had good success with these. And I think it's because these little ridges hold a little bit more of that seasoning, a little bit more of that flavor. I really enjoy this type of a cut of chip. Here we go. Again, the chip is perfect. The chip itself cooked perfectly. Perfect thickness on that. Paprika flavor is a little bit troubling on this one. I'll tell you why in a minute. Paprika in itself has never been a big, bold flavoring for me. I've always found, more than anything, I think it gives coloration to a dish, gives the slightest little bit of heat. There's not a lot of flavoring on this one because of that. I think this needed to be paprika and something. I think that would have brought out a little bit more flavor on these chips. I love the cut. I love the texture. I love the cook on these chips. Flavor's a little lacking on this one. All right, gonna move on. All right, now we're getting to the two that I am excited about. First of all, ketchup. Okay, unfortunately, this bag does not appear to be in as good of a shape as the other ones that we have seen. A lot of broken chips in this one. The aroma on this one, however, gives me some hope because it does smell like a bottle of ketchup. A lot of broken chips in this one, and it's not that crinkle cut. It's not that ruffle cut. There's a nice intact chip there. Doesn't look like there's a lot of seasoning, but we've seen that pretty much as the theme from this company, I think. They don't overly season these. Let's see. Here we go. Ketchup flavored Mr. Chips. This is a little bit of a letdown. Okay, these are missing on a lot of different levels. First of all, these are very salty. Secondly, this doesn't have that vinegar zing that you should get from ketchup. And finally, this is an odd flavor of ketchup. This is not your Heinz variety of ketchup, which, I mean, that label sort of looks like Heinz, even though it doesn't say Heinz. This is definitely a generic brand of ketchup, and you can tell. There's a little bit of a sweetness to it. There's a little bit of a tomato flavor to it, but there's an odd flavor on this too that I can't quite place. It feels like there's another spice of some kind in here, and it doesn't belong there. Yeah, Mr. Chips, not your best work. All right, one more to go. Okay, I think this is the one that I am most excited about. French cheese. So there you go. There's the cheese right there. Not sure what we're going for here. French cheese, Brie, Gruyere. I believe those are both French. Not sure. But I'm excited to find out. Okay, these are the Ruffles cut. That gives me a lot of encouragement. No discernible aroma on those. They are a little bit darker. They seem like they have a little bit more seasoning on these. So overall, these look like they have a bit more seasoning. French cheese. Here we go. There's a tang to it. There is a cheesiness to it, which you don't get all the way through. You get it sort of at the beginning, and then you sort of get it when you swallow. And while you're chewing, you just get a potato flavor. These are a little bit, I don't want to say overcooked, but they're a little bit, there's a little bit of that, I hate using the word burned flavor, a little bit more of that toasty flavor that you'll get sometimes if you cook a chip a little bit longer. These have that. Flavor is very subtle on this. I think overall the best ones out of this whole bunch were the very first ones, the chili flavor. It's been kind of downhill since then. Don't get me wrong, none of these are terrible. The ketchup, maybe. Not a big fan of those ketchup chips. Everything else, very good. Okay, Mr. Chips brand. When I started this, I thought maybe we were going to go for a very high seal of approval on this one, as we started really strong with this chili flavor, but I think this was the best of the bunch. If I were to put this single, if I were to judge each one of these singly, and I'm not, I'm going to give them a bulk rating. I would probably give this bag a 3-star, maybe even a little bit higher, if you know what I'm saying. These are very, 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 these are excellent chips. Everything else sort of just very good, maybe with that exception of that ketchup flavor. All the other ones, very good. Overall, as far as this brand goes, I'm going to give this a 2-star seal of approval. Very good chips. If you see these, pick them up. All right, there we go. 4 more brands of international potato chips. Again, that is the Mr. Chips brand. Those are all from Jordan. We got those at an international market that specialized in a lot of Mediterranean type of products. A lot of Middle Eastern, not Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, a lot of Middle Eastern products. So some interesting stuff. We picked up a lot more international snacks. You're going to be seeing a lot of these videos coming up. So I will catch you next time.